Hey everybody out there, you're tuned in to 91.8 The Fan, and we have count 'em, two special guests that you guys have already met before, but just in case they forgot who you are, would you guys like to reintroduce yourself to the fans out there?
Hey, everybody, it's Grant George.
And I'm Jessica G. George.
That's my wife.
Yeah, that's my husband.
The dynamic duo here.
I like how they can brag about each other. That's awesome.
Yeah, we don't pose a threat to each other.
Yeah, not at all.
Well,
Maybe in text, but
Yeah.
not in voiceover.
Exactly.
I think it would. Well, I'm curious. I'm wondering if Grant can do a girl voice and if Jessica can do a guy voice, if that's possible.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
that's a good story right there. We had one audition where they wanted to have two men. It was for
the
a
turkey.
farmer and a turkey. And Jessica, you're supposed to slate every time you do an audition, give your name. And she
So this
slated
plate
as,
sounded as, "Hi, this is
Hi, this is Grant George as the farmer.
and Jessica G. And Jesse G. is the turkey."
But did it work?
Yeah, because we
It
booked
did.
it.
We
We
actually
booked it, and I had to talk the whole time to the clients like this. You're like, "Yeah, all right, I got it. Yeah, I'm ready." And then we had to go into voices.
Yeah, which made no
Made no
difference whether
sense
it
at
was
all.
a man or a woman who had done that. No, the only woman voice I can do is Big Ange from Housewives of, no, the Mob Wives. or
Mob
whatever.
wives.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's not true. You do funny voices.
Yeah, it's starting to pop up a little bit more, too, where they want to have guys doing the female voices. That's always fun. Adds a little spin.
But we also answer the phone like that. Like we get telemarketers. We're like, "Hello?"
You do not want to be a telemarketer calling us.
I have always wanted to see a voice actor somewhere, just whenever they get a telemarketer call, record it, because usually telemarketers are recording their call as well, and just answering the phone and just messing with them, because I figure that's what you guys do anyway.
Yeah, exactly. No, we've actually have recorded them. We'll stick it on speakerphone, take it in the studio, and just record.
We have volumes.
Yeah.
We have volumes
We'll
of
start a
it.
page
Yeah.
and share.
Yeah, we should probably share it. We have volumes of keeping our objective was to stay in character for as long as we can and keep people on the phone as long as we can as well. So
I'm sure the telemarketers love when you pretend to be like a little old lady or an old like grandpa, and you just keep asking the very obvious questions over and over again.
Exactly.
can you speak a little loud? There's your woman, yeah.
Exactly. We actually did that in person, though. We did. We went on a timeshare type deal, and we had to portray people who didn't even speak the language, so we could get out of the 90-minute presentation faster.
It worked.
It worked.
I was Yashka from Yugoslavia.
I was their translator.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
And all you heard was the woman walk out of the theater that she'd stuck us in and going, "I have one that doesn't even speak English." So it was really funny. We kept it going for almost 90 minutes. And every time she'd say something to me, I would look at Grant and he'd have to translate it, and he'd do it really quietly.
That's right. Sort of a combination of Spanish and Italian and I don't know.
And gibberish.
Gibberish.
Wow, I wish I could just take you guys places where I didn't want to go, just to make it more entertaining.
Yeah, we're
Rent
friends.
us. We're live entertainment. We're gonna stick ourselves on the shelves of like Blockbuster or something.
Well, generally, if I do want to do that, I take my mom because, no offense, I love my mom, but she's really bad with technology. Like, her email is still, 2004 at the end. She still doesn't know how to use a VCR. She still doesn't know how to check her.
VCR.
I'm serious. She doesn't know how to check her voicemail. She has to come and ask me, Jackie, what do I press? Every single time. And it's just she doesn't want to. I guess she doesn't want to learn, or she just isn't into it. But if I take her someplace with me to like Blockbuster or something like that, or any sort of video rental place, because she loves movies, the questions she asks, especially to the poor clerk, like, "This is a Blu-ray. Is this a widescreen? Will it have the lines, or does it have the lines this way?" Like, she doesn't know the term.
Like
This one
Letterboxd.
have sound.
The other thing is I don't understand, why are you taking her to a video store when you have like 400 videos that are unwrapped in your closet, like you said? Like, you just
Those
rent
are
that to your mom.
games.
Oh, that's right.
I would
Dinner
love.
gaming.
I would love to set her up with games. Like, I've tried to do it before because, we're in Vegas and she likes to gamble. So to set that up on her computer. But she's like, my eyes hurt. I don't want to look at this little tiny screen, because she only has like I think a 14, 15-inch laptop computer that my brother gave her. So I feel for her. Like,
Aw. That's funny.
One day. But
Right.
but now one of the things that you guys actually wanted me to ask you is how Grant got his first job. I'm assuming there's a big elaborate story behind that you wanted
Actually,
to
it's not
share.
that elaborate.
It's not too elaborate. Sorry to let you down.
No, the very first anime show that I ever did was a show called A Little Snow Fairy Sugar, and the voice director and the one who cast it was Miss Jessica G. That was the first time I ever jumped in a booth on that type of thing. So
Yeah, gosh,
that was
wow,
elaborate.
that was fun. Yeah, I did. I think I did guest directed on the first 6,
Yeah.
and that was a fun show. But yeah, I brought Grant in for the first time, and he was really, really good. He was really, really good. And I remember just trying to see if I'm going to tout you, I got to see how you do.
Well,
Right.
if he was really good, you can't tease him behind the glass and pretend like you and the engineer are having some sort of dialogue about how he's
Oh, yeah.
doing for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. No, he did really well. He did really well, and then that just spread. So, and look at us now.
Here we are.
Here we
on the
are.
fan.
Yeah. I actually fell in love with your voice before I even met you.
Aw.
Yeah, I did. I was introduced to his voice before I was introduced to the physical being of Grant George. So,
And then you saw the pictures or you saw him in real life and it was a sealed deal.
to be honest with you, the first time he came and he met me, he had the handlebar mustache that went
God.
like 4 inches on each side. And I looked at him, I went, "What is this guy doing?" Like and this was before handlebars were in like they are now.
Right.
And
that
he
would
comes
be
up to me and goes, "I'm in a show. I usually don't have this handlebar." I'm like, "Well, thank goodness for that."
The sad thing is there was a picture taken of me. One of the first voiceover jobs I did, years ago,
John Amos.
was for John Amos, who was on, Roots and all those good shows. He was doing a show, and I was doing a voiceover for him, and we took pictures. I just happened to have the mustache at that time, and my friend owned the studio. He published the picture on his website, and that picture keeps popping up. It's on like
It's the photo you
behind
can't
the
get
voice
away from.
actors or something like that. If it's not Grant George, who's some executive at Microsoft that lives up in Seattle, then it's this Grant George picture of me with a handlebar mustache.
Wait till it shows up on IMDb.
Oh, no.
Don't go looking for it, please.
They already found it. It's too late. Handlebar mustache. Put it on.
Well, the people in the live chat, you heard it, so you better go find it.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's what they're good at doing. They're good at stalking in a nice way, in a non-creepy way, in a sort of creepy way.
My Jessica G is a girl in Japan. Oh, no, in
Korea.
Japan. In Korea, right. In Korea.
She's
The dancer.
she's from Girls' Generation. She's one of the main singers. Actually, I played Girls' Generation G after our interview with her, but she was originally born in California, so she speaks fluent English. Just in case you're curious.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Wow.
Yeah, people confuse us.
Well, you both are very adorable, and I'm sure you dance to really cutesy songs in Japanese and Korean.
Yeah, because I get things on Facebook all the time like, "Hey, Jessica, I didn't know you were such a good dancer and a good singer in Korean." So I'm like, "Yeah, thanks. I don't know what you're talking about, but thanks."
Just say "감사합니다," which is thank you in Korean.
How do you say it?
감사합니다.
Kamsahamnida.
Now for anybody out there, I'm not fluent in Korean, so if I didn't tell her anything bad for anybody who's gonna tell you, no, I told you a swear word. No, that from what I know, that's how you say thank you. But now for the listeners out there, you guys let me know that you're in a new game together. Would you like to talk about it and tell a little bit about that experience?
Yeah, we just went to work. I did yesterday and just did the day before on a game called Defiance that's coming up. Don't know a lot about it, but it...
Because we can't.
Well, yeah, I can't really talk
the
about
Defiance just came out in this month, the first one.
Yeah, it looks like it came out April 2nd.
Right,
the US.
right. Yeah. So it's getting a really good response, and we're doing the next one. Pretty cool. Really cool what we had to do.
Well, this is... Oh, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. This is interesting that you brought this up because I was just finishing the finale of a show called Face Off where they do sci-fi stuff, and they had a Defiance challenge because it's also based off the TV show.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
It's not the first time I was in Defiance, though. Here's another bit of trivia for you. I was one of the first films I did after studying at the American Academy was a film called Defiance, and it was a 12-minute short, and I got to play a zombie. That was my big, big thing where I was a zombie, crazy in a plaid jacket.
Yeah, and just as a side note to that, I forgot. Before we even met, 9 years before we met, we were in a movie together.
That's right.
Really? What a small world.
How's that for a small world? I actually knew his cousins when I was in college and stuff like that. So our paths crossed, and we didn't have any idea. We figured that all out as we were going.
That always reminds me of an older movie, When Harry Met Sally. Like, they have the couples that talk about how they met each other, and there's one couple that said, we lived on the same street, we worked in the same building, we went to the same school, for like 20 years, and we didn't meet each other until we were like 25.
Yeah, that's crazy when that happens. Yeah, we were talking about it, and we were looking at each other's resumes, and we were just like, wow, you were in that movie? I was in that movie. So we had no idea because we filmed on totally actually Grant did the student film of it, and I did the release. We had to replace all the actors that weren't good the first time around. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I remember the character she said she was this Helga who worked at a like a dating service, because back then you would actually go into a physical place to try to meet somebody, and instead of going online. And I'm like, well, Helga, she was like this 500-pound woman. There's no way that was you. Did you lose a lot of weight? And she said, well, I remember the doctor you're talking about in this scene was Puerto Rican, with dark hair and I said, nah, something's wrong here. So we realized, I had been in the student film, and then she had been in the actual one that went out to the different film festivals.
That is still really neat, though. Like, you can brag about that it was your relationship was in the making for years without you even knowing.
That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's so funny.
That is awesome. Well, now, in terms of Defiance, I'm assuming you guys can't talk too much about it because of NDAs and ninjas who are trying to kill you if you say anything.
That's right.
But are you allowed to say if you did a lot of reaction sounds, or if it was tough on your voice or anything like that?
Yeah, absolutely. I played a tough kind of military woman, and she was pretty low key. She had to emulate somebody that's been around for a long time, and so we saved all the hardcore efforts for the end, and thank goodness our fearless director was really cool about doing that, because it was screaming our heads off. But he was good about it. So we both came home kind of throaty. You came home throaty yesterday.
A little bit, yeah. That typically is the way we do it. We'll save all the, flesh burning screams and blood curdling lacerations and drowning toward the very end.
Yeah, we actually had to do the same efforts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's typical that we'll do that. We'll take a bunch of hits, we'll give a bunch of hits, and then we'll get
save the best for the last.
Brutally killed. Video game.
Well, I know some people really like doing reaction sounds, and other people just hate it because it's so taxing. Do you guys, prefer it? Okay.
I love it.
Love it.
We love it. Yeah, it's like a therapy for us, man. Just screaming like you're going down in flames. It's so fun because you take it to the limit. And, you see the engineers turning down the volume, pulling down the levels on you. And Grant and I are particularly loud. So it's kind of cathartic, huh?
Yeah, and it's just what we've been doing since we were children anyway. I mean, this is what kids do all day long. They play war, they play police, and all that good stuff. So you're screaming, fire in the hole, and all that stuff, and incoming!
What's really fun is this time we didn't go to picture, but in a lot of shows and a lot of movies and a lot of stuff that we've done, we're actually following the characters. And that's really fun because you have to do what we call chasing their reactions. And so we're chasing them. And so if they're hitting or they're jumping up or they're turning, we're using, our bodies are moving and we're doing the exact same thing as they're doing. So it's kind of cool to watch the voice actor on camera doing it and then watching what's going on the screen.
Yeah, we do that a lot for films. We used to do it a lot for some of the old kung fu movies like the Jet Li movies and
Jackie Chan
before they really hit it big here in America. But just dubbing all those into English. And yeah, all the fight scenes, you got to sit there and you watch what's going on. Sometimes you get a preview of it. Other times you do what's called chasing, like Jessica was describing, where you literally watch it and you just follow the action. If you're getting beat up, you're taking hits. If you're kicking, doing whatever it is. And then the editor later can slide it around and kind of match it up so that it hits on the right moment. But it can be taxing. I remember doing one scene against, it was in some Jet Li movie where I had a 7-minute fight.
Yeah.
You're hyperventilating and seeing little stars because you're breathing hard and fighting. I mean, it feels like fighting when you're done. So.
Remember when Kirk passed out? Yeah, we've actually seen somebody pass out.
That was cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was cool to watch them pass out.
Yeah, I mean, because you don't think about it. So we all have kind of this underwritten rule that you bend your knees a little bit. I don't really know what that does, but I do it because I heard it. It's wives' tale. You bend your knees just to look foolish. But it was, it keeps you from falling over and hitting the ground as hard. You're closer to the ground.
Stabilizes yourself a little bit.
Yeah, something.
Center of gravity, who knows?
If you lock your knees, it cuts off your blood flow. That's why.
That's true.
You actually learn that if you're in a marching band. They say when you stand at attention, don't lock your knees completely. Leave a little.
So are you saying you were in marching band?
No, don't go look that up.
I want to see with the big feather coming out of your hat.
Because we used to watch people go down while you're standing at attention and marching. While I was watching the band at attention, not that I was among, you could see people that was boom, and they just go face plant right into the grass.
With the big tuba.
That's right. Exactly. And that's not even the tuba. That's never mind.
I feel like you have a lot of embarrassing moments from high school you don't want to share with us. Or a lot of things you've seen. Sorry.
No.
There are moments have come later on in life with the two of us.
Yeah. I think you get a little more humility as you get older. The only embarrassing moment I remember in high school was right when these shoes there was a show called Miami Vice that was on many moons ago. Actually, that must have been when I was in
the first one, not
schools.
The second one.
Yeah. They just didn't have any friction on the sole, so I'd be walking on those things, and I remember just bailing in front of everybody when we were changing classes in high school and jumping right back up and nothing to see here, and just kept walking on. It was cracking up. That's the only embarrassing moment I can think of right off the top.
I have none.
None?
Mm-mm. No, it's flawless.
Well,
always been flawless.
Well, since one of you shared one, I'll share one of my own. I never used my locker, and the one day I decided to use it in middle school, I had my alarm clock in there because I was staying at my brother's house, and then I had to go back to my mom's house, so I had to take everything with me. So in the middle of a test in science class, I could have swore I heard this ringing, but in the science class, it has thicker doors and walls and things like that, so I'm like, what is that sound I'm hearing during the test? Absolute silence. You could hear a pin drop. And then suddenly, like, a teacher bursts in and people think that there's a bomb in the school because I didn't realize it because nobody told me until they pulled my locker open, which my bra was inside at the time, which was only like a sports bra, so it's not a big deal now, but at the time it sucked. But, like, they thought it was the bomb, but really it was just my alarm clock. It was one of the old ones that would go back and forth.
Wow.
Yeah, and they just, went through all my stuff to turn it off, and they were trying to help people out because they thought it was bad. But I didn't think about it. I was like 13 or 12 or something.
Meanwhile, one of your friends grabbed your bra on a stick and started running around the halls.
Over their heads. I got a bra!
Sadly, no, that didn't happen.
That
would have been a story to share, but I wish there were more embarrassing stories to share of high school, because high school and middle school and all those other places were really entertaining, actually. Had a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think mine came in college. My stories started in college.
Yeah, that's another Oprah.
Probably
Jerry Springer.
Yeah, Jerry Springer, more like it, yeah.
Well, for the listeners out there, before we get too much into the past, let's take a short break to get our bearings and return back to the future. Don't go anywhere, because our special guests are not either. So keep it tuned to 91.8 The Fan, where you can listen to everything you want and nothing you don't. Hey, everybody out there. You're still tuned to 91.8 The Fan. I still have two awesome people, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're here. We're here.
Okay. They're alive. We didn't hurt them. For those of you saying that, I go to break and I just put them in a dungeon or something. No, they're fine. They're perfectly
fun,
okay.
though.
Yeah,
It's a fungin.
Fungin.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Our fungin has padding on the wall for a reason. But
And a happy clown.
Yeah.
No clowns are happy.
Yeah.
Not in my life.
That's
She's
true.
not a clown person.
That's okay. Are you afraid of clowns?
Afraid would be an understatement. Yeah, I have like a visceral reaction to clowns. I can't stomach them for some strange reason.
How about being left in the Vagabond Inn in Palm Springs as a small child with my sister? Red Skelton's clowns on the wall.
And the eyes that moved every time you like lay down and you look up and there's a painting of a clown right above you and the eyes were moving. I'm not kidding. The eyes moved.
I'm going to assume that you really don't like Stephen King's It.
Yeah, not going to happen.
Hello, Jessica.
Hello, Jessica. Or the Insane Clown Posse.
Oh
gosh.
Oh.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh, that's a good one, though.
Hey, that was filmed in my hometown of Watsonville, California. A lot of things were filmed up there.
We learned something new about Jessica now. So
people,
please don't send her pictures of clowns.
Please don't.
Actually, our son teases her, clown, and you'll start running around the house dressed as a clown.
And he's 5. Yeah, so that's how they get
worse.
to me. It's only going to get worse.
Well, if it makes you feel better, some of the fans out there know that I have a Let's Play channel with one of the other staff members, and they send me games where they know that I'm going to find a cockroach, and cockroaches just make me react. Like, if it's a spider, whatever. If it's an ant, whatever. But cockroaches, no. I'm like,
Oh, boy.
I don't mind them.
I think it's just because that's the only, like, threatening thing you get here in the desert. Like, we don't really get scorpions inside, even though some...
Inside?
Well, some people...
It's the second we step outside. They're everywhere. We got to dodge them, but...
We get mountain lions, and we get bears, and we get coyotes, and they're everywhere, so...
Well, coyotes maybe, but not really here. We don't really have big wildlife.
Cockroaches.
Cockroaches are the big ones, and snakes, and scorpions, and that's about it.
Mafia.
Oh, cockroaches. I used to have them all in my first apartment, and I used to collect them in this bottle. It's like an old bottle of wine, and I had just hundreds of them in this bottle that I gave,
along with
I gave
bones.
to the management when I moved out.
Along with bones, and that's not a false story. When we were going through your stuff, you had a box of bones, like animal bones.
Yeah, I used to collect skulls and bones and stuff as a kid.
Well, to be fair, I always thought it was cool how you could, when you were in science class, how you could, like, dissect the owl pellets. I always thought that was really interesting. Like, because there were bones inside and sometimes skulls and things. And...
We did frogs.
We had a kid who ate them.
What?
Yeah, we did frogs.
Crazy Larry.
And pigs.
Pigs?
Pigs,
I
yeah.
never did frogs, I never did pigs. Oh, my God. I don't think I could do that.
Oh, yeah, we had the frogs. I don't think I could do that now.
I could play Trauma Team. That's close enough, right? That's a dog
game.
Or Emergency.
There you go.
Yeah, Emergency is good. Shock treatment.
Oh gosh, this is so opposite of voice acting as we can get. I think we've made a new record here.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we're here for.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, because of voice actors. That's right.
Yeah, at least we can talk about something else. There are some people that we sit down with that do voiceovers, and that's all they can talk about. Their whole world is voiceovers, and it's like, so what else do you like to do? Yeah, just hear crickets. You have no idea.
Yeah.
Needlepoint? Anything? Come on.
I kind of feel that way a little bit with 91.8 The Fan, because I feel like all of my interests revolve around it, whether it's video games or anime or music or culture. It's like my life.
Yeah, but in all fairness, I think, I mean, for me, it was the same with me. Growing up, voiceovers was the only thing I knew. It's the only thing I wanted to do. It's the only thing I had aspirations to make happen, and and so I was just always tunnel visioned completely. I mean, if that's what you love, that's what you love. I think when you get older and you start having kids and things change, it just shifts. It just reformats. So, but I was so into it, I was probably the worst.
That's true. I was actually just thinking about this yesterday, I think, about all the things that I wanted to be when I grew up, and I wanted to be an actor. I wanted to do cartoon voices. I wanted to be a newscaster. I wanted to be a graphic designer. All this stuff that I do.
Notice he's not saying husband or father. We'll have to talk about that afterward.
Well, I think everybody does that. Like, I don't think people stick with one thing when they're young and then they become that one thing, because I feel like you have to try a lot of different things before you find what you really enjoy to some degree,
Yeah, we didn't. I mean, we had really random jobs. We really had random jobs. I stuck live lobsters into ovens. Yes, I did. I apologize,
Wow.
but I had to do that. And my roommate said to me, "It's the lobsters or it's us, because you smell horrible every time you're coming back." So that was probably my worst. But it was just my means for becoming a voice actor.
I'm pretty lucky. My job starting off, where I worked in web design, I worked at Baskin Robbins, and I worked at a game store until they closed. So I've gone from all of that to this. So, I tried some different things, and I liked eating ice cream until I was full and fat. Because, well, Baskin Robbins, they let you eat as much ice cream as you want if you work there in sample spoons.
Oh, really?
So you could just keep taking
That's a
bites
lot.
in sample spoons,
And dipping them again, double dipping.
No, not the same sample spoon. You'd have to use it once and then throw it away and then use another one. So if they were out of sample spoons the next day, they couldn't get on your case about it. I'm just saying.
Wow. I actually worked at a pizza place between my 2 years of college, and I got a pizza every day. I thought I would be sick of pizza, but actually I could eat it every day then, and I still loved it. I never got sick of it.
But look where you ended up. All that came right to your voiceover career.
The pizza?
Yeah.
Is that a segue to get back on subject?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
That's a good idea. One of the things that we were actually talking about behind the scenes is projects that you two worked on together, and I believe one of the things that were mentioned was Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah, that's the fun thing. Sometimes we get cast. We don't always get to work at the same time, but sometimes we do get cast in the same project. So we have a lot of crossover. We have Dynasty Warriors in the game world.
I just finished 8. So yes, in answer to about 5 people who wrote me today, I am in fact in 8, and I already did it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Zhurong. And then I was Sun Jian, but Sun Jian keeps getting older, or something happens.
And killed.
So.
And coming back. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what our stalker was actually amazed that we were married. So actually Zhurong and Sun Jian. But in reality, Zhurong is married to Meng Huo.
Yeah.
Something like that. But
the director would be really mad at us for how we're saying these things right now. Yeah.
He's a stickler. He actually speaks German. English with a German accent, but when he gives his Chinese pronunciations, they have to be precise. What else did we do? World of
Warcraft.
Disgaea. Some of the Final Fantasies.
Gormiti.
Yeah, that's a new series that's coming up called Gormiti. I don't know where it's going to end up yet. It's kind of out there, but
I briefly talked about it last time I was on, but it's Italian, right?
Yeah, it's originally an Italian series. It's got a whole spin-off of toys too. So I play Agrom and his alter ego, the bigger alter ego.
Yeah.
Agrom Lord. And who are you? Glass Empress?
Glass Empress, yeah. That was a really cool part to play. Thank you.
There's only one female in the whole show, I think.
Yeah, really good, really cool part. And what's really cool about seeing all this stuff is just the different artwork too. You got to appreciate it when we're able to see it, because we didn't see anything from Defiance, so we don't even know what our characters look like. We have a basic understanding, or they kind of want it within a type, a type of character. But when you get to go to picture, it's awesome.
Yeah, I would think that being able to see your character also helps, give you a direction of where you're going. Because getting a description, you're kind of like, okay, well, I'll do my best, and if the director likes it, good. But when you get to see it, you can be like, I understand,
Yeah, and that's one thing too when you see original animation is just the structure of the mouth. If it has an underbite, if it has sharp little teeth, if it has a big fleshy mouth. I mean that all impacts how we attack a character and where we kind of place that voice in our mouth. So it's a lot more fun to be able to see the character and be able to create from the artist's vision. But then again, it's great in anime too, where you see the character up there and you get a sense of it just from the original actor that portrayed that. Especially in Fate Zero, that actually premieres tomorrow night.
Yes, it does.
Go to Neon Alley and check that out. They're finally premiering that. My character Lancer doesn't appear till like episode 3, but get into the series because that one, is visually stunning. It's a beautiful. The art in it is fascinating. So that's when it's really fun to see, the finished product.
Now, for those of you who don't know much about Neon Alley, you should, because we've interviewed some of their staff members on that. But you can check it out on PlayStation 3, and I'm pretty sure it's on Xbox 360 now. Don't quote me on that. And is it? Thank you, producer, for magically appearing. And I believe there's still a free trial if you do want to check it out. It's almost like a TV channel that you can stream, and it supports the industry. So yeah, go check that out. It's cool.
I want a magical producer that just answers stuff for me.
Yeah, bring me breakfast.
I wish he did things like that. Like he's nice to me on air, and helpful on air, but when we're off air, it's like I don't care. I'm
into a whole different beast.
I'm gonna take a nap. I'm gonna go play my video games.
Aww.
And for anybody who watches the first episode of Fate Zero, it's a double-length, hour-long special thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we tweeted and posted and Facebooked and did everything like that today. So it's there on our sites too.
It's got a following. People are anticipating that one, so I'm glad it's finally coming out.
Yeah, it seems nice that they're really, tackling Neon Alley too, because I think it's a very interesting way to get a TV channel for anime, but not have an actual channel, if you know what I'm saying, since it's streamed on consoles.
Yeah, there's been a lot of trying to figure out how to keep that particular niche of the industry alive because everybody wants to post it, rip it and post it, and then there goes the people that can
buying it.
Keep it going on.
Yeah.
So any kind of solution such as this, I think, is great that we can implement.
They're doing a really good job fixing that.
Yeah,
they're coming up with a new way.
I think it's really surprising nowadays all the places you can watch something legally, Crunchyroll, Funimation, sometimes on Hulu, Netflix, so on and so forth. And yet there are still fans out there who are like, well, I can't wait. Well, if you're an adult, you can wait just fine. I'm still waiting for the second half of Tiger and Bunny, which doesn't come out until, I believe, next month. Yes, I believe I pre-ordered it. I still don't have it. This is the problem. But I'm still waiting for that. I watched the first 13 episodes, a month ago. I can wait. I'm patient.
Yeah, you're good.
Well, I never understood that mentality of being unable to wait for something.
Yeah.
It's not going to go anywhere.
I'm not really good at waiting. No, I'm not really good at waiting. I want to see it before anybody else does. But
you do in the booth.
yeah, exactly. But we never see it together. We worked on something with Wendy Lee, a series, and it was first of all, it's just a blast working with her because we all laugh all the time. Jessica G and Wendy Lee do people's voices all the time, the whole time, and we're good friends. And she's a brilliant director, and she just knows what she wants and.
She's an actor's director.
She's an actor,
too.
Yeah. She's an actor/director. So I think
she's an actor's director.
An actor's director.
Yeah. I mean, she comes at you from an actor's perspective. It really directs you how to get in the zone, so you're not just winging it.
But it was this little project that we all kind of got really attached to, and we've just been bugging her because it turned into something that we all got caught up in the storyline, and now we really want to see it. So we've been bugging her. It was live action.
Actually, it was on Conan O'Brien.
That's right. It was on Conan.
The studio and started doing a mock dub of it. It's a show called Return of the Pearl Princess.
I remember seeing that clip. I love Coco. So.
Yeah. So we'll see what becomes of it. They're still working on getting it somewhere, but it's basically a soap opera. And a lot of the people
not in the sense of soap opera that we know.
Right.
Yeah.
But
my third cousin is pregnant and I married your brother.
Yeah. And your name is Chase.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I'm a doctor and a therapist.
I just keep repeating your name.
and everything's done by the doc.
That's right.
It's sad because my mom watches these shows.
Sorry.
That's
Sorry.
okay.
That's because she doesn't know how to use the VCR.
I know.
That's funny. Reel to reel.
Oh, yeah.
But now, for the fans out there, obviously, I know that Grant is going to an event soon, like a convention soon, but will they ever get a chance to meet both of you in the same place?
I don't know. Probably. We're still keeping our feelers out there. They do a lot of booking, almost a year in advance on some of these things, and sometimes, if something's coming up right away, it's hard to get in there at the last minute, but we're working on it.
Yeah, we just opened ourselves up to doing those, to sitting on panels this year, just because now we can travel a little bit more in our lives.
One for .hack or .hack sign or .sign or
.com.
Something like that.
.com.
You're right, but that was pre-children days,
and
now we got kids, and we got to mold them into perfect little voiceover people.
Well,
We've got to be the Broadway parents right now. No, we're not, but we actually, our kids do voiceovers, so they're starting.
Well, the plus here is that with your kids, you can dress them in adorable cosplays, and everybody will go, ah, and then when they're older, they'll be like, Mom, why'd you do that? God.
Good idea. That's
I'm going to get a prinny hat for them, just like yours.
That's funny.
Atlas, I'm sure they have some.
Yeah.
Right. No, but we are definitely trying and open, and we'd love more and more invites for sure, because we're fun on panels. We definitely are, and we just we love connecting with people.
Awesome. Well, hopefully we'll see you guys at a convention in the future. And I know you told me that one of the things that you guys love to see is your characters being cosplayed. So hopefully people, when they see you announced, will dress up in skimpy Dynasty Warriors cosplays for you.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of Zhu-Wrongs. If they're right, because it could be.
Or it could be, Zhu-Wrong.
That's funny. Yeah, you gotta kind of fit that outfit right. But I love seeing that stuff. It's the coolest to be able to see your characters played out.
And it's kind of interesting to see the varying levels of different people, like, somebody who's just started in cosplay and someone who went the extra mile and like got a skin like tan or something and all this other ridiculous stuff, and you're like, how'd you do that in 2 months?
Yeah.
Right. I think the first time we ever saw that was years ago down in
Anaheim,
and it was our first characters, and they were running after us. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
The parking lot, and we couldn't figure it out. I'm like, that's Sugar. That's Sugar. They were dressed up as our characters.
Or it was right when DigiCarrot was coming out, and there were some of those characters in there too.
And it hadn't even come out yet, but these are real fans who know all the originals.
That's really awesome. I can't imagine the feeling.
It's funny, but yeah, you're right. There are some people that kind of just slap something together the night before, and then there's some that they must have spent months. I mean, it's like perfect.
It's perfect. Yeah,
it looks like it's right out of the film.
Yeah, I always love to go to conventions and see that they have the Halloween like spray paint wig on from Walmart.
and they've just let him out for the day from the old folks' home.
Oh yeah,
we've seen a couple of those, but yeah, I mean, more power to you.
The best is when they're going through like the autograph booths or something like that, and they're holding a staff, and they're holding a sword, and they're holding a bow and arrow, and they're holding a helmet, and they're holding a shield. You have to like take each thing off one at a time, so they finally can hand you a pen. Then when they're done, they have to put it all back on. There goes the helmet. There goes the thing. Wow, it's a lot of work. Then they move to the next person and have to repeat the same action.
That's actually why I don't cosplay anymore. I used to cosplay from 13 to around 18 or 19, but because I have so much video equipment most of the time, it just got too cumbersome. And some wigs that I would have, I'd have no peripheral vision. And that's really hard when you're trying to like look for somebody.
Yeah.
We got invited to one that's close by, and by a guy that I met in a Lego store, I think, here in LA, and he invited us, and we were and Grant didn't want to go with me. I want to go, but of course I'll be the oldest person there, but I don't care. I'm going to do it.
No, it would be fun though to actually think if some of these hairstyles that they have in the shows are actually physically possible to like exist with.
Oh yeah.
Like my character Night Rikyo in Nura. That guy's got, I mean, his hair sticks out like 3 feet. I'm thinking he can't go through revolving doors. What happens when he tries to get in an elevator? Or, somebody calls him and he whips his head around, he's going to knock somebody on their tush. So it's fun. Fun to see how people recreate that for their costumes.
Some amazing wigs that I've seen, like, I'll use a very broad example, but Pokemon. Like, there's a character named Jessie who's a part of Team Rocket. And when I see wigs like that, I'm like, how did you even make that? How is that possible?
You're like 3 feet of spike, right?
It's just, it goes behind her in like a swoosh, almost like a tail on her head. So I don't understand how you've woven that together.
Oh, we've seen stuff where they've had lights, like electronics in their costumes.
Oh, yeah.
So, it's pretty amazing.
I think we should open up like a massage booth or something at the conventions.
Why?
Just for people, so they can get their neck massage from all the weight of their hair pieces and stuff like that.
That's like Disneyland.
Yeah. We took our kids for the first time to Disneyland, and it happened to be Gothic night.
Oh,
so
God.
Everybody was in like 6 to 9 inch platform boots, and we're like, yeah,
we can't wait to see you at the end of the day. Yeah.
Then we saw him like hobbling to his car in the parking lot later. Just, there are 15 blisters on each foot. Just the commitment.
And our poor kids, Disneyland's supposed to be like this wholesome place, right? It's your first time seeing these live characters. And all they could see were like just tons of
Jack Skellingtons and
yeah, and guys in merch.
Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Well, hopefully they had a good time.
They did. We told them, this is just extras from the Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
No, actually, the first time we took them to Knott's Berry Farm, they were setting up for Knott's Scary Farm, so they thought that Knott's Berry Farm is always pretty haunted, too. We had to remind them, don't worry, there aren't people that come running out at you and sliding on knee pads to scare the heck out of you.
Well, don't take them to Universal. I'm pretty sure Universal has like a haunted, scary night that none of the others do.
That's pretty. And just so that you know, because I have a couple of friends who work there, they actually have insider bets. And sorry, you guys, if I'm breaking your little secret here, but I think it should be known that they have insider bets of who could make people urinate. And
get bonuses.
They get bonuses, and like who could make people fall out of fear. And
how do you prove that? Do you say, "Hey, can you come with me? I got to show my boss."
They scare them to pull out their iPhones. No, they do. They have these insider bets and like tally sheets. Isn't that terrible? But I guess
Universal
the fear factor
is the scariest, I would say.
And we're 5 minutes from there.
I'm really bad. I think those people would hate me because I've been in a lot of haunted houses. I really like horror stuff in general. And when I actually do get scared though, or I'm in that situation, I just keep talking. I'm like, yeah, you're behind me, like whatever. And then they'll scream and I'm sure I'll jump and I'll be like, that was a good one. And I'll keep going. And I just keep talking really loud and obnoxiously. It makes me feel better.
My instinct is to punch.
Yeah.
So something comes out of me, I'm going to defend myself. So I have to stay away from those.
Right. There's a restaurant in New York City that's called Ninja, I think, and they just come out from everywhere, and you're guaranteed to be taken out of your skin.
Bam! All of a sudden, the katana comes slicing through the rice paper. It's crazy.
That sounds amazing. Now I want a convention to invite us to New York so I could go.
Yeah, so you can go. Me too. I'm going with you.
Wonderful. I'll pack you in my suitcase. It will be
Thank you.
Bring your Giron costume.
I will.
Well, for all the listeners out there, since this has been a fun hour of triple threats, Chris included, because apparently he keeps popping up. Would you guys like to, say any parting words? Would you like to give actually any, maybe relationship advice, since we have both of you on today?
Yeah, you're looking at me.
I think what makes our relationship thrive is that we are just both zany and crazy and love to make each other laugh, and that's what we do all day long. It's what we were doing since we were kids.
No one else thinks we're funny. Well, I hope that's not the case here.
Just one listener left.
Yeah. Sorry, you guys, we destroyed your listenership. But no, I would say the same thing. Humor each other.
Communication.
And love. We love what we do, too.
Giron costumes.
We love what we do. Yeah. Oh, yeah, great. Thanks, honey.
Eh?
Yeah. I like when he dresses up as his character. Should we keep going with this? Or is there a point where we're going to get in trouble?
Well,
producer?
I guess he's just, he probably took a nap. He probably got bored.
Playing a game.
Not with us. Come on, we're talking about the goods now. Yeah, we are just totally in love. Always will be.
That's right.
Well, that is a great way to end that, and thank you guys so much for appearing, not only separately, but together, because it was awesome to see your dynamic.
All right.
Oh, thank you for a dynamic duo.
That's right, the voiceover dynamic duo.
Do you actually want to let them know where they can, find your website and all that for both of you?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, for both of us, we still have our site, dynamicduovo.com. Needs a little updating. I think our personal sites are
more updated.
Which is grabthatvoice.com for Jessica, grabthatvoice.com, and grantgeorge.com for me. Then we got Twitter.
And then we've got Twitter, which is at Jessica G VO, and my last name's G-E-E, not the letter G.
G like the song, guys. G,
yeah.
G, 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 G.
G-E-E. I always say like Lee, but G. And Grant, you are?
At Grant George VO.
Right. At Jessica G VO, at Grant George VO.
Well, I'm sure.
Come find us.
Come find us for sure. Yeah, we respond almost to everybody. So today we did. We've been looking at Twitter also during this interview, so a lot of stuff's come up, and we just are so appreciative. You versus Matt's been our great guy on Twitter for this whole interview, so we thank you. Yeah, because he's all the way in England. Yeah, so thank you.
I've gotten some really interesting tweets on my personal Twitter as well, which has been interesting.
Really?
Oh, we want to hear those.
I can't stop laughing at this interview. So much randomness.
It's random.
If you want to listen to talks about owl pellets in high school, head on over to Naomi the Fan.
That's great.
It's got to be like an owlpellets.com where you can just see different. Never mind. Samples.
Yeah, but we are. I mean, we definitely try to respond to everybody, and we're people. We're just regular old people. Not old people, but wow.
Not as old as my mom.
No, we definitely love it, and I think last time I used the word grateful about 14 or 15,000 times, so I'm only going to use it once and then not last time. But we are definitely so happy and grateful when people connect with us.
Yeah, and we're grateful that they keep watching and keep us working. It's fun. We love doing this, and I'm glad you guys love it.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys again. And for anybody out there that missed any of this interview, don't fret. You can find it on the website within the next few days. Keep your eyes peeled to 918thefan.com and your ears tuned to 91.8 The Fan, where we play everything you want and nothing you don't. Coming up next is Namie Amaru with her song, Put 'Em Up.